And isn't it, if the more education they have, the less likely they are to come back?
Exactly.
Recidivism.
Recidivism. That's
Right.
the key is when people get out of there, they don't have nothing to do, nothing to look forward. They go back and the same parents and brought them there and then come back again. But if they get out and they get a community support and people on the outside give them an opportunity to work, then less likely they stay being a positive members of society. Okay. Yeah.
Now, you are this incredibly involved person and you live in Janesville.
I choose to live in Janesville.
And you choose, exactly, you choose to live in Janesville. Why? Well, first there was work and the job and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but you probably had opportunities to
When I go
leave.
to Ohio, to other-
Exactly. And you continue to make the choice to live in Janesville. You retired and you still, it's almost like a choice that you have to make over and over and over to stay in Janesville.
Yeah.
Why do you keep...
Why I choose to live in Janesville is
Yeah.
because when I come to Janesville, and the first years that I come to Janesville, I look as a community then we're a pretty peaceful community, and I like it to raise my kids here. So that was my first intent. And of course, the job in General Motors was a good opportunity for me to grow. So, and then through the years, I been asked to go someplace else to live, but I'm very stubborn, and I decided to stay here and do something about so other people don't have the same confrontations that I have at the beginning when I come here.
You're glad you stayed?
I'm glad to stay here. The other thing is sometimes they ask you if you are an American. Well, I'm American by choice because I love America. I love this country. I love this community. And also I give 2 of my kids to serve in this country. Matter of fact, the oldest one right now is in Afghanistan. He just left a couple of weeks ago. And he's not the first time that he's involved in situations. He's been serving in the Marine Corps for 20 years.
Wow.
And my youngest one, Leo, he was there for 11 years. So sometimes they doubt my patriotism, but who must more patriot than a person who choose and really like to be American.
That is wonderful.
Well.
And well, and I would imagine that part of that any criticism that comes is because you're involved in protecting rights of migrant workers often, and not all of them have proper documentation, and therefore that what goes.
It's a lot of misinformation there. That's the problem, and some people don't really know the whole history, why people come to America like they did it in the past, the former migrants to this country, coming from Europe and from Italy, from all over the countries.
Right, it's a nation of immigrants.
Exactly. And one of the things, and it's been a nation of immigrants, the Latinos are the last wave of immigrants that is coming to this country. But they do it because everybody has a function in society. Everybody has, you might be a carpenter, somebody might be an electrician, somebody must be a baker or whatever, but everybody has the same thing in common, is they want to do well and want to protect the family and want to provide for the family.
Right, they want to raise kids in
They
a
want to
nice
raise
place.
kids
Right.
and they want to be able to raise it, not just to raise it, but give them a good life, to grow up with no problems and be able to go to school, to go to college, and have a house to live. So everybody has the same common desires. But when you come from economies like Mexico, South America, that don't provide those opportunities, then you start looking where you can find it.
Right.
And that's how you...
And the most obvious answer is United States.
Exactly. And coming here, so like everybody else in the past, has the same dreams and aspirations.
So if you wanted to educate people, or if you wanted to get some information out, how can people get more educated? How would you recommend people understand what you have to say better?
Well, I think the one of the things that we need to look at into get all those passions stuff, but look at into exactly what it is. It's an economic problem. Because nobody in the right mind is going to leave the families, is going to leave the communities, their friends, and come to a strange land where they don't speak the language. They don't know if they're going to be able to find a job just for the sake of come. Only desperate people do desperate things, So people who come to this
where
country,
the alternative is worse.
Yeah, they even risk their lives crossing the border. And they come in because the opportunities are not there. And I always say, and if you want to stop the flow of undocumented people coming to this country, invest in structures or infrastructure in those countries where they come from, and provide the jobs they need to, so they don't have to come and look for them here.
So instead of building a wall or
Exactly.
trying to find people and move them out, you're suggesting help in Latin American countries, invest in those.
Invested in
are those places that you think are worth the investment?
Oh, of course. Mexico has got a lot of resources, natural resources. Oil, copper, silver, gold. I mean, it's full of...
But the concern is that we give them money, and do they use it in the best possible way? Or how do you suggest we support those infrastructures?
Invested in
how do we invest in the right way in Latin America?
In the right way in Latin America. Well, right now, General Motors is the biggest employer in Mexico. Used to be the biggest employer here. But what happened is they take the jobs from America and bring it to Mexico, not for the reason they invest in Mexico or to provide a better economy for the Mexican economy. They do it because they make more money that way.
Right.
And they circulate all the other laws of conservation laws and all these laws, then they don't have to obey in the United States, so they go there.
Right.
And they pay lower wages, they pay, the conditions are worse down there, and they are leaving these people, our people here, because I'm one of them, because I retired from General Motors, and I'm a UAW member.
Your first General Motors retiree, and not everything else.
Exactly. And then they live in, instead of raising the economy at the same level, what they do, and they suppress this economy, and this one is just keep it down, because those jobs are not here no more.
So you're suggesting more of the trying to get the labor laws changed in Latin America, so that the workers there make more.
And they pay the wages similar compared to the economic wages here. So do you think that we have some problems with Canada and the United States? No. Why? Because those economies are pretty close. If they do it in Mexico, I don't see no problem. And then people in the people, General Motors or Ford, whatever, they're not going to take the jobs down there, because it doesn't make no sense, right? Just to take the jobs there, but you need to have a level of the economy level, because when you suppress one and keep it down here, the other one is going to be coming down. So,
Jose, best of luck to you. Thank you so much for being in Janesville, and
thank you very much.
Thank you.